Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is Matt here, and I'm going to take you through the video match report of the Easter Monday fixture between Southam United and Tytherington Rocks, who came to town. The team played Tytherington Rocks away only 2 weeks ago, and unfortunately ran out 2-0 losers on that occasion. So we're certainly looking for a measure of revenge in this Easter weekend fixture. First and foremost, again, you have to give shout outs to everyone who got the game on. While it was a relatively dry day in the morning, there was still a pitch inspection due to the amount of saturation that there'd been. So again, before we say anything else about anything, you know, fair play to the people at the club, and in particular the volunteers who moved heaven and earth to get the game on. So absolutely fair play to that. Obviously, this was the last home game of the season, so I think everybody associated with the club was looking for a strong finish and 3 points to see the home season out. So, as usual, we'll go through the starting lineup, which I will put on the screen for you now. As usual, we've got Lewis Hudson between the sticks. The back four of Shane Osborne, Josh Dixon, Kyle Linford and Josh Thompson. Josh Dixon, surprising for me personally. Maybe I've not been around long enough to see him deployed at right-sided fullback. We'll come to that later on. Obviously Craig Watkin featured as always in the number 6 role. Midfield of Ellis Champkins, Andy Yeats captain obviously. Debut for Sam Belcher, so it was good to get a look at him. And Ben Salis and Edward Kostic up front. The bench consisted of Ruben Wilson, Sean Watkins, Josh Turton, Jack Shepherd and Bradley Goddard. So again, a little bit of rotation. Like I said, you know, eyebrow was raised for myself when I saw Mr. Dixon deployed at that fullback position. But yeah, anyway, the game kicked off. It was a good turnout. I think, as I recall, I think the attendance was around about 120. So it was a relatively good turnout for that last game of the season. Good to see everyone down there. And good to see the sun shining as well. And as the game kicked off, Josh Dixon had a good opportunity to send the ball in, and it was met by Ed Kostic. Unfortunately, he just couldn't get that, you know, that contact on the. It was kind of sort of a bit of a glancing finish that he executed, and it didn't really trouble the goalkeeper, which was a shame. Dixon then sent another cross in that sort of sailed across. Sailed over the bar. I think it was a sort of a cross-come shot. He'd probably say it was a shot if he was asked about it today, bless him. But yeah, we had some other efforts from Ben Salis and Kostic that unfortunately couldn't hit the target. And it took until about 26 minutes before Tytherington started to impose themselves on the game. To be honest, both sides really struggled to sort of retain possession. Again, going back to what I was saying at the start of the video, as well as everybody did to get the game on, the surface was very bobbly, and it was difficult to get the ball to just kind of sort of sit down. As a result, nothing was really going into feet. There were a lot of sort of, errors in control. You have to play on what you can play on, obviously, of course. But yeah, the pitch did not help when it came to control, and I think both sides struggled with that. Yeah, the number 9 of Tytherington had a nice spin on the edge of the box, and banged one across that just wouldn't dip quite enough inside Lewis Hudson's near post, and sailed over. It was as good as it got. About 3 minutes before half time, when Shane Osborne hit the post, he'd managed to harass the Tytherington centre half and made him lose the ball. But he kind of sort of never could quite bring the ball under his spell. Maybe again because of those issues with the pitch and the ball bobbling around. And he never quite brought it under his spell, but he kind of sort of, it looked like an awkward sort of toe poke that he, kind of sort of got on the end of, and it did beat the keeper, but sadly hit the inside of the left-hand post, and it just wasn't to be, and bounced out and was hacked to safety. So yeah, that was as good as it got for Southam in the first half, and the second half, Tytherington came back out looking like they meant business. It didn't take long before they managed to put themselves in front when Kyle Head ghosted in on the right hand side of the penalty area, and he finished very well, to be fair to him. Left-footed finish underneath Lewis Hudson into the bottom left hand corner, which, again, on the balance balance of play. They had some good possession, but they hadn't really threatened a lot. So, you know, it was these chances that Southam had were kind of sort of coming back to haunt them, and it didn't stop there, unfortunately. Obviously, as Southam pressed forward, they started to win more set pieces, free kicks, you know, corners, and there were a couple of good chances, one from Josh Turton and another one from Andy Yeats, both headed chances that unfortunately they weren't able to capitalise on, which was a real shame. And unfortunately, as much as Southam pushed forward, even Lewis Hudson was even sent up towards, you know, into stoppage time. He was sent up to try and, you know, from the goalkeeping position, obviously, for a right-sided corner that he managed to get on the end of, and he unleashed a fantastic effort. You could, you know, it was one of those chariots of fire moments when you just saw it. You thought, dun, 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 and the ball was just it was travelling. But unfortunately, it was charged down. But I'm sure he would have seen his name up in lights in his head as he hit that one. But sadly, it wasn't to be. So Tytherington did close the game out, and all credit to them. They came and did a good job. Backs to the wall away performance. So credit to them. Unfortunately, it is not to be a good result for Southam on the last home game of the season, which is a shame. But nonetheless, we support the lads regardless. And you know, obviously, you know, with all of the tumultuous circumstances that have surrounded the side this season, I think obviously, you know, the closed season is going to be a good opportunity to stabilise, for everyone to step back, take a look at things, and to assess obviously A, where we are, and B, where we want to be next season. And I think we all know that there's enough quality in the squad to make a better fist of it next season, and we'll all hope for a good league campaign next year. The season's not over, obviously. We've got 3 away games coming up, no least a trip to the league champions Hartpury University this Wednesday, so good luck to the lads in that one, because you might need it. and yeah, you know, that's the last home game of the season. So obviously from you know, the club's perspective, I would say, you know, thanks for being so accommodating and so helpful. Obviously this enterprise here is still burgeoning, and I have a lot of you know, kind of sort of big picture, blue sky thinking plans for next season. But what I'm hoping to do is to keep the content coming. Obviously, I have some features that I hope to do with some of the players, as well as obviously the management staff, and you know, and sort of more long form conversational. I don't want to say interview, because it sounds like I'm going to sit someone down and shine a light in their eyes. I'm not going to do that. What I'm hopefully going to do is just bring more content to you guys, the fans, that, you know, that's going to help bridge the gap between obviously the players, the club, and, you know, and obviously you, the fans, and that's the objective of the channel. So I want to thank you for watching. Obviously there will be content coming soon, but in the meantime, thanks a lot, and up the Saints.